Exposing the narcissist's greatest fear is the topic of today's video, and we are going to disclose the one thing they fear more than anything else. This is something they would do absolutely anything to prevent anyone from ever finding out. We all know that narcissists constantly try to put on a show that makes them look invincible, acting as if they know everything and can do anything. But despite the image they project, they are actually afraid of several things, especially one particular fear that makes their daily lives feel incredibly stressful. We know that narcissists are vain and only care about themselves. They believe they are the center of the universe, and it is because they simply cannot think any other way. Narcissists often try to present themselves as smart and logical, but in reality, they are constantly filled with doubts about themselves. They struggle to decide between what is real and what is not. They hurt others and take advantage of people because they live in constant fear that they might be the ones being hurt or taken advantage of. Narcissists think that everyone they meet is out to get them, so they feel like they have to strike first. They constantly imagine the worst-case scenarios, yet they always appear bright and charming just to conceal their inner demons. But why do they think this way? I want to make this very clear today. First, I would like to say thank you for watching this video. It would be greatly appreciated if you could help this channel grow by sharing this video with any of your acquaintances, relatives, or loved ones. If this is your first time here, we ask that you subscribe to this channel so that you do not miss any of the upcoming updates in the future. I truly appreciate your support. Okay, I would like to talk about how narcissists see you as a reflection of themselves. What makes them think this way? How does it affect the people around them? And how does it relate to the narcissist's need to be in charge? As a first step, narcissists often blame others for their own flaws, bad intentions, and negative feelings. In other words, they do not take responsibility for their own actions and instead project those things onto others. On the other hand, the narcissist believes that everyone around them is out to get them. When they interact with other people, they are constantly coming up with plans, cheating, and lying. Narcissists think they must always be on guard against a threat that does not exist in reality, but to them, that threat feels very real. It is all because of the deep-seated fear that is a fundamental part of who they are. They fear that other people do not like them or want to hurt or criticize them. Of course, this kind of fear can happen to anyone, but for now, we will just focus on narcissists because their fear is nothing like ours. It is enormous. When you get close enough to a narcissist, you can see how little they care about other people and how little faith they have in humanity. They might say something mean or snarky in public, making it seem like a joke, but what they are really trying to do is express how they truly feel. Surprisingly, most people think they are just joking, but dark humor is one of their primary ways to be mean or put someone down. They treat everything like a game, and they believe everyone else does the same. They think that everyone else is just like them, fake, cunning, always looking for ways to take advantage of others, opportunistic, sneaky, and dishonest, even if those thoughts are only inside their own heads. So, for a narcissist, everything comes down to always being the best, whether they win or lose. That is all that matters to them. They must always be ready for anything. The goal is to get everyone to trust them, even if they do not trust anyone else. Believe the best player wins this game. Narcissists treat you like you are their enemy because they think everyone else is out to get them and is exactly like them. This is another reason why they see everyone as a competitor. Their fear makes them dislike and mistrust others, which only makes the situation worse. They will hate and dislike you more and more as time goes on, especially if you can achieve things that they cannot, because they are empty on the inside and cannot understand how anyone else could be truly happy and content. They cannot live unless other people agree with them. They find it hard to accept that you are different from everyone else, and they find it hard to believe you are better than them. So, one of the reasons they hurt you is because they want to display you at your worst. They will do anything to make you mad. They will blame you and point the finger at you to make you feel guilty and ashamed. Because they mess with your thoughts and feelings, you end up feeling confused and sad. In the end, all the narcissist wants to do is show that they are better than you and that you need to listen to them. Because of the abuse, many people who have been hurt by a narcissist develop the same fear as the narcissist. They fear that they cannot do things on their own. Narcissists are very good at making other people take on their bad traits and feelings, especially those who are close to them. A narcissist can make you feel like you are being sucked into their world and that you cannot leave without becoming whatever the narcissist wants you to be. But actually, that is not your nature. So, if we work hard and love ourselves, we can get through these problems just fine because we are not what the narcissist thinks we are. The narcissist wants us to believe in the narratives they have made up about us. Paranoia and other negative feelings are always a big part of the narcissist's personality and who they are. The narcissist is always on edge because of these fears. Narcissists do not want to be seen, so they are terrified of being judged or made to feel bad. It changes how they see the world and the people in it. They have fear in every part of their lives, which makes them vibrate at a very low frequency. The narcissist is driven by a strong feeling of fear, but that fear goes away when they can control other people and their surroundings. It transforms into ego. As long as a narcissist is in charge of your life, they are less likely to see you as a threat. In their minds, this game is all about being in charge and being the best. Because of their fear, they cannot see the truth. It also makes them think that the enemy is on the outside, when in fact, the enemy is hiding inside them. So remember, the narcissist's greatest fear is you. Take care of yourself and stay cautious around these people. I hope that this explanation helps you. Please tell us what you think and what you have experienced in the comment section below. For future videos, consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and clicking the bell icon below the video. Thank you very much for your time and interest. Now, let us discuss how emotionally abusive narcissists will tremble in fear if you do these things to them. As self-centered individuals, narcissists have no interest in anything or anybody but themselves. There is a constant need for them to be the best. They have a specific vantage point from which they view the world. If you do not recognize their excellence, they will make sure you do. You can never praise someone else in front of or to the narcissist because that would put that person above them. They will likely get very angry and claim that you should have complimented them instead of the other person. You will feel bad about what you said, and they will make you retract it. The following is a list of things that you can do in order to drive narcissists crazy. A word of caution, though. Those of you who are confident that you will not be harmed should see what follows. If you are dealing with a narcissist who is a pain in the neck and a poisonous person, then this advice is for you. Make sure that you have a strong sense of security and self-assurance before confronting the narcissist. These methods work best for any narcissists who are manipulative but are not likely to descend to violence because of their toxicity. For the narcissists who are on the higher end of the spectrum and consequently more dangerous and violent, I advise you not to use these methods. In fact, you should not approach them at all. Please stay cautious if you or anyone else you come into contact with are at risk of being harmed by a violent individual. Now that we are on the same page, let us get started. Here are things that you can do to make narcissists lose their mind. Radical honesty comes first on the list. The truth is one of the few things that can truly drive a destructive narcissist insane. It is the cold, hard reality with no sugarcoating. To put it another way, it is honesty in full. Trust me, I grew up in a world where people of this kind were commonplace. Some of them I dated in the past, and some of them I have even worked with. When I think back, my penchant for speaking my mind and calling things exactly as they were was the thing that irritated them the most. When it comes to a narcissist, nobody else is allowed to stand up or speak out. It was fine for them, but not for you. Then there is this interesting tidbit. The truth, which has a high vibrating frequency, is 1,000 times more powerful than any falsehood ever will be. To put it another way, the truth always wins when it comes down to it. You can bank on that happening. Destructive narcissists find those of us who are open and honest in our work incredibly disruptive and distressing. Even when we do not speak, they cannot quite put their finger on it, but something about us makes them extremely uncomfortable. A new level of clarity has been reached in our interactions because of this. They are sensitive to that frequency, and they cannot stay calm thinking about it. After all, it has the potential to bring to light all of their deceptions. So, do not be afraid to be really open and honest with yourself. This level of honesty is foreign to narcissists since they are so used to lying and deceiving others. Narcissists have an extremely weak sense of self, so they have to manipulate others to make themselves feel better. They will most likely go away as soon as you stop speaking what they want to hear and start speaking the cold, hard truth. Things that no one else has the guts or courage to say to their face. All this time, especially after they have backed themselves into a corner, there is really no place for them to stay any longer. If you still cannot imagine how powerful the truth can be, then I will say this: the truth is always enough. You should keep this in your mind forever. Secondly, show them no regard. A good dosage of indifference to a destructive narcissist will drive them insane. Narcissists believe they have the right to treat others with contempt and disgust, even though those people have done nothing to deserve it. When the cards are reversed, however, the situation is frequently thrown into disarray for them. They do not know what to make of it. This is a typical example of the double standard. Rules for thee, but not for me. This person is able to treat people like they are absolutely nothing, but when they realize that you are completely and utterly indifferent to their presence or whatever it is they think they have to offer, it drives them insane. Here is where I am going next. Rejection is the next step that will definitely make them sink to the bottom of the ocean. Third, exposure. Exposure is terrible for any narcissist, and the best part is that it is not difficult at all to do. It is as simple as exposing them in front of others. You may readily expose their poisonous chatter. For example, use a simple expression such as, "That is not my business," or "That sounds like a personal issue you might want to keep to yourself." Use no more words after that. You have called out their sleazy behavior by doing that. There is nothing else to say at this point in time. You might also call them out when they are being passive-aggressive or expose their obvious incompetence or exaggeration. For instance, you could say, "Was that a sneer you gave me?" "Interesting. I am glad to hear that," and then offer no more words after that. Keep your cool, no matter what they say or do to you. Alternatively, keep a low profile while the narcissist continues to unveil themselves as what they truly are. It is also possible to ask them a direct question in front of others that they cannot genuinely answer without risking exposure and embarrassment for themselves. Last but not least, let them know you are keeping an eye on them. If you want to keep them restless, do not tell them anything. Just show them. How you look and how you feel are the most important things. As long as you do it right, it shows that you can see right through them. This will send shivers up their spines when they realize that you truly see them and know what is really going on behind their fake front. When they realize that you know how weak, incompetent, and inferior they really are, it will hit them hard, and that by itself is enough to drive a narcissist crazy. Narcissists hate it when they cannot control something, and they hate it even more when someone knows their cards. That is all I have for today. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you find this video informative. Please share your experience if you have ever been in a relationship with a narcissist in the comment section below. For future videos, consider subscribing to our channel and clicking the bell icon below. Thank you. Let us explore what the narcissist does when they realize they are no longer in control. In the minds of narcissists, they are the greatest thing in the world. They believe they are smarter, better, stronger, more capable, more attractive, and better at everything they do. Sure, they act like the victim sometimes, but it is just a trick to draw people's attention. They try to get praise, and they act humble so that you will tell them how great they really are. Everything is about fuel. They have to keep their minds busy so they do not have to think about the pain, hopelessness, and depression that are trapped inside them, knocking on the doors of their souls. There is a voice in their heads that tells them they are lying and are not who they claim to be. They must stay away from this voice at all costs. What if, in the end, it is true? No way. They refuse to listen to that. They go out into the world to show you and themselves how great they are. So, what happens if they are not in control of you or the situation? Things are about to get ugly from here on out. First, I would like to send you an invitation to contribute to the growth of this channel by forwarding this video to any of your friends or family members. If you are new to this channel, I encourage you to subscribe and activate the notification bell so you will be notified when a new video is uploaded. Let us continue. First of all, they act in a clumsy way. At first, they will act like they do not understand what you are saying to make you think they are not so easy to trick. This person will pretend not to understand why you are angry with them or what they did to make you think badly of them. When you try to question their sincerity and motivations, they will act like they do not know what you are talking about. They pretend they do not understand how bad the problem is or what will happen as a result of their awful actions and decisions. To play the victim, they have to do something, and that is the point. They act stupid to get away from the real problem. Second, they will say that you have hurt them in some way. In the mind of a narcissist, you have done them wrong because they no longer control how you see them or how you see the world. When you stop buying what they are selling, you are telling them that they do not have any power over you. No matter how bad their actions have been, you can be sure that they will always act like they are innocent and misunderstood. They often say things like, "No, that is not what I said," or "You can count on me," or "No, I did not do that," over and over again. They will ask, "What did I do to make you so mad, and why are you acting like this? You do not know who I am." They might say you are just too sensitive, or words to that effect, to make you feel bad for them. They make up stories that make you look like the bad guy. Third, they will influence other people's opinions to go against you. When they are unable to influence how others perceive and feel about them, narcissists try to take control of that perception and feeling through others. The narcissist does this to you in secret. Never underestimate the narcissistic tendencies of a person, since they will do everything in their power to poison the feelings of those around them toward you. For a while, they have most certainly been working on undermining people's faith in you. Do not be surprised the next time a person you have always been nice to becomes cruel, or a stranger stares at you strangely for no reason. The narcissist is likely to have told them a slew of ridiculous things about you. Exposing who and what they are would badly harm their narcissistic ego, and they will plan years of smear campaigns against you to make it appear that you are everything they actually are. Fourth, they turn to narcissistic rage, anger, and revenge. As soon as the narcissist realizes they have no power over you, they will do anything they can to hurt you and your perception of them. They will go to great lengths to cause mischief while they are around. They will cause as much pain and anguish as they can. Most of the time, narcissists are not the ones who gracefully end a friendship or connection. Almost every time, there will be conflicts or grudges. I can say with certainty that they are doing this in an effort to place the blame for the disastrous outcomes and their dramatic consequences on you. There will be a barrage of public criticism and yelling with the volume turned up to the maximum. After all, it takes a lot of courage to see the world the way you do and to finally uncover their mask. Their activities need to be called what they are. That takes a lot of guts. If the narcissist has an inflated sense of self, do you not know it? Moreover, you have the audacity to set acceptable norms, limits, and boundaries. With all due respect, I am impressed by your fortitude in fleeing such an unhealthy situation. You should pat yourself on the back. Next, your social media accounts will be a target as well. You can tell if someone lacks emotional maturity when they refuse to do anything real, sensible, loving, or kind to assist in solving a situation, no matter how evident or subtle their narcissistic traits are. Instead of trying to sit down together and look for a solution, they will go through your social media accounts to see if there is anything they can use to attack you. In order to use your information against you, they are always on the lookout for new ways to do so. The last number on the list is making up excuses. Narcissists lack the ability to empathize with others. They are ethically devoid of any sense of right and wrong. In their daily lives, they appear to have an absurd and exaggerated feeling of entitlement. As they see it, they have a right to go about their everyday routines in any way they like. Because of this, do not be duped. The fact that you were hurt by them is of little consequence to them. Even after their bad attitudes, decisions, and actions, they will pretend to be remorseful, but false apologies should not fool you. It is only a matter of time before the changes you notice begin to fade. You may expect them to return to their old tricks as long as you are back on their good side. This brings us to the final point of our journey. Ultimately, the narcissist will have to go find someone else to manipulate. If you do not cave into their lies and manipulations, they will need to track down a more easily exploitable source of narcissistic supply. For the new target, this is a bummer, But for you, it is great news. You will not have to deal with any of it. Do not give up. Despite the fact that it may take a long time and will be challenging, the effort is always worthwhile for you. That is all I have to say. But there is still a lot of work to be done. That is all there is for today's video.